Hardhat is another very popular development environment that is used for smart contract development. This was originally designed for Ethereum, but it can be used for any other EVM-compatible chain such as Conflux eSpace. Hardhat provides Conflux developers with a comprehensive set of tools for building, testing, and deploying smart contracts. Let's go for some key features on Hardhat. The first main feature of Hardhat is the task runner. This can be used to automate various development workflows, such as compiling contracts, deploying contracts, and running tests. And this simplifies a lot the development and the management of complex projects. Then you have the built-in compilation and deployment feature. It provides a quite simple and intuitive way to manage contract deployment to many different networks. Next, there is its very advanced testing framework. Hardhat includes a powerful testing framework that makes it very easy to write comprehensive tests for smart contracts. It supports both JavaScript and Solidity testing and provides a wide range of testing utilities, including mocking contracts, test accounts, or time manipulation. This can help developers write reliable tests for their contracts. Hardhat also has a plugin system that allows developers to extend its functionalities with custom plugins. This makes it very easy to integrate Hardhat with other tools and services such as oracles, wallets, and other development workflows. Next, we have debugging and tracing, which are also features that Hardhat includes and allow developers to debug their smart contracts directly in the development environment. This simplifies a lot the process of identifying and fixing the issues of any smart contract. And finally, we have the integration capabilities, which means that it integrates easily with other popular tools, such as MetaMask or Remix, for example. So these are some of the main features that Hardhat offers. Now, let's talk about Hardhat Runner, which is the main component you will interact with when you use Hardhat. It's basically a powerful task runner that serves as the main component that allows the developers to manage and automate recurring tasks that are involved in the development of smart contracts and decentralized applications. The first aspect of Hardhat Runner is the tasks and plugins. The whole Hardhat Runner is built around the concept of tasks and plugins. Tasks are basically commands that can run from the command line, such as compiling contracts, deploying contracts, or running tests. For example, you can run the built-in compile task using the command npx hardhat compile. And tasks can also call for other tasks, allowing you to create a complex workflow of tasks that can help you manage very complex applications. This allows you to create custom development workflows that are tailored to your specific needs. And then we have the plugins, which are modules that can be added to Hardhat and that can extend its functionalities. Hardhat comes with many built-in plugins, but anyone can customize them and create its own plugins, which provides flexibility and extensibility. To install Hardhat, first you need to have Node installed and you need to create an npm project. Go to any empty folder and just run npm in it. Next, to install Hardhat, you just run the command npm install Hardhat, and this will install Hardhat in your project folder. After you install it, the next step is configuring it to what you need. When you run Hardhat, it automatically looks for the closest Hardhat configuration file. The configuration file is typically located in the root of your project, but even an empty configuration file is enough for Hardhat to function, so you don't actually need to configure anything to make it work at first. All your Hardhat setup, including your configuration, your plugins, and custom tasks, are contained in this file, so it's very important to understand how this file works. The main configuration that you need to know about is how to configure it to work with Conflux ESpace. This is an example on how to set up the network Conflux ESpace mainnet. By changing the URL and the chain ID, you can use testnet in the same way. This is all you need to know if you want to use Hardhat with Conflux. The rest of the things are basically the same as using Hardhat with any other blockchain. Now I will show you how to create the sample project. Basically, when you run npx Hardhat, this screen will appear and it will provide you with different options. You can create an empty Hardhat configuration file or create a full JavaScript project or TypeScript project using the built-in templates. Hardhat will ask you some questions and then you will go through a wizard that will help you customize the project based on your needs. But the most important aspect of doing this is that all the dependencies will be installed with these sample projects, which bundles all the things you need to start to work with Hardhat. So, once you have created the project, the next thing you need to do after you have your smart contract ready is to learn how to compile it and how to deploy it. To compile your contracts, you can just use the built-in task, which is npx Hardhat compile. After the initial compilation, Hardhat will always try to do the least amount of work possible the next time you compile. So for example, if you don't change any file, nothing will be compiled the next time you run this command. But if you modify, for example, one file, that one file and others will be affected and recompiled. So after compilation is finished, you can move to the next step, which is deploying the smart contract. This is an example on how to deploy your contracts on Conflux ESpace. This is considering that you have not selected Conflux as your default network. If you selected Conflux as a default network, then you don't need to specify the network at the moment of running the script. With this command, you can easily deploy any smart contract. Consider that there is no specific task to deploy, so it's not the same as the compilation process. In this case, we are using the script which is built in the sample project. Then the other key utility of Hardhat is testing. This is one of the most crucial aspects in the smart contract development. To test with Hardhat, here is some of the stuff you need to know about. The first ones are Mocha and Chai, which are JavaScript libraries that are often used for testing. Mocha is a JavaScript framework that runs on Node.js and it provides developers a simple way to set up, write and assess your tests. Chai, on the other hand, is an assertion library that is used with Mocha to verify the contract's behavior. Next, we have tasks and scripts. Hardhat uses tasks as the primary way of interacting with your project. Tasks can be simple JavaScript functions that perform a specific action, like compiling contracts or running your tests. And the scripts, on the other hand, are a more flexible way to interact with Hardhat and can be used to write complex deployment or testing scenarios. In testing, we also often use fixtures to create a controlled test environment so we can know the exact state in which our tests run. In this context, fixtures are often used to deploy a specific contract or set up certain conditions before running the test. So this is also an important aspect of Hardhat testing. And then we have the test coverage tool. This is a very useful tool and it's a critical metric for any development project. For example, most auditing companies will always request you to have 100% coverage in your smart contract tests. So this is a key aspect in which you need to work on, and this test coverage tool basically measures the degree in which our code is covered by tests. By using this tool, we can generate coverage reports that identify which areas of your code haven't been tested yet. Last but not least, we have time manipulation. This is a very powerful tool for testing in blockchain environments where often there are some time-based conditions. Hardhat allows you to advance blocks and move forward in time, and this allows you to test these conditions effectively so you don't need to wait for some conditions to meet. You cannot have this time manipulation feature if you want to test it directly on the chain, but Hardhat testing allows you to do this kind of stuff. Also, remember that testing is not just about finding bugs, but it's mostly about designing your system to be robust, reliable, and ready to face the real world. So it's a very important aspect, and you should always properly test your smart contracts.